bookshop, the last independent literary island in the famous literary town. A special welcome to our Minister for Arts and other faculties, who has left behind him a world of popping champagne corks and celebration receptions for the referendum yes vote. He has come among us to launch Rhymes and Relics, a collection of poems by the incredibly talented John Malachy Raftery. So welcome to you, John Malachy. Where is he?
Thanks, Denny.
So welcome to you, John Malachy. This talented young man he comes among us encrusted with honours and many academic achievements in other countries and other cultures. And can I say that although you come from faraway Glenamaddy, you are coming here to Listowel and you are amongst friends and admirers who have seen your many collaborations with those televisual masters John Lynch, Timmy Griffin and Charlie Nolan. John Malachy keeps drifting out of sight here behind my back. I can't get him now. I can't, he's a moving target. John Malachy, we have seen you in our hills, we have already seen you in our buildings, we have seen you up to your neck in muck in our bogs, and we have seen you everywhere we look, paddling in the rivers. And all of those locations you have adorned with your poetic gifts. When we, the ordinary people, look at places, we see the sights and the sounds of tourist brochures, but you peel away the surface and you reveal for us a world of wisdom and antiquity. When politicians look at places, they count the number of first preference votes. But one man who need never do the mental arithmetic of vote counting is our minister here today, because he is always head of the poll in this constituency. So it is very appropriate that we have such an important figure amongst us, because nobody ever in the history of literature has done more to promote and embrace the writers, the poets and the playwrights of his local area than the fresh-faced, eager, talented young football politician here beside me, Jimmy Denihan.
Yeah, I'd just like to interrupt there. I was talking to Johnny Mulvihill yesterday and he said you were a crap player, you know. I think he was joking.
This is the third event this week, literary event that I've been to, that Jimmy has been involved in. Monday night he gave us a wonderful night at St. John's, celebrating the works of our great Listowel incredible family, the O'Reilly, Alfred O'Reilly, and already this morning has been at the Plaza for the launch of that great actor, promoter, producer, Barry Caston, who played such an important role in the work of John Beakey. So I will now call upon our much beloved and successful Minister for Arts, Culture and the Gaeltacht to officially launch John Malachy's Rhymes and Reasons. Jimmy Denihan, ladies and gentlemen.
Thank you very much, Danny. And over the years, if ever I wanted someone to give me a real introduction, I always made sure it was Denihan. Anyway, Danny, thank you very much. I suppose, like all of you, probably asked the question about who was John Malachy Raftery. Now, I met him around with John in the past, and Timmy and Charles, filming in front of the castle and so on, but maybe to a lot of people around here, you may not know him around here, but after this book's up to me, you will. But I looked up his record anyway, especially his academic record and his global connections, as Danny said, and it makes very, very interesting reading. So I'll just tell you what this man is all about, because we're very fortunate that we have yourself. I know it's in recent years that you've connected with North Kerry, but I think it's very important for North Kerry that you have made this connection, and obviously through this book you've shown a real intimate feeling for North Kerry as well, and for the places of North Kerry and the people. So, as you know, as Danny said, John Malachy has a distinguished academic career. He graduated from Trinity College with a first honours degree in business studies. This was followed by a master's and later by a PhD. So it should be Dr. John Malachy Raftery we should be addressing him here. And he has been awarded fellowships from the University of Helsinki, Copenhagen University and Oslo University in Norway. So we have a real international figure here amongst us. He's fluent in Irish, French, Danish, Swedish and Norwegian. Very few, I would say, in the world would have that combination of languages. When you throw in the Irish, obviously. And he's currently involved in giving in-career cultural courses for Nordic teachers of English in the west of Ireland with the appropriate title Absorbing Ireland. He also provides poetry workshops for schools, and I must say those students I'm sure feel very privileged. John is also involved in reminiscent film production and distribution, and he's also an avid enthusiast of horticulture, organic let me say, and so he's a man really for all seasons. Now in the 70s and 80s he was a visiting professor in sociology and psychology at Oslo University and Limerick and Galway universities. And John's life is now very much involved in cultural pursuits. So this is the question I ask myself: how could an international figure like yourself meet up with John Lynch? So it's an interesting story. So there had to be so many way, obviously, connection. And John Malachy contacted John Lynch, and John, as you know, has been making films here in Listowel going back to the early 70s, before it was fashionable to be making films. And as a result, he's a very important archive built up of North Kerry and of Listowel that without him it just simply would not be there now. And his work now is gone to the Irish Film Institute for preservation and so on, which is great. I think it was the time I brought him down to Listowel that I met you, John, that you just built up that connection with him. But certainly we have that great literary archive in Listowel, but John has provided the whole film archive, which is so important. So John contacted John Lynch and seeking a copy of the time of the film the way I remember it, and this is one of the best pieces, I suppose, of film production, and I wouldn't call it amateur film production because it was very professionally done, that ever came out of this town. And I suppose the most important part of it, John, was that it was scripted and narrated by Eamon Keane, John B's brother. And people would say that Eamon Keane had a better voice than Richard Burton. But any of you that ever heard him would appreciate that. He was really an immensely talented individual. So in 1999, when John was videoing the saga of Jack Griffin in the last of the Free Rangers of Ballydonaghu, he asked John Malachy to compose some poetry for the script to give the production obviously a major boost. In a matter of days he received a number of poems, newly composed and finely tuned on the subject matter. Later in the editing process there was another request for extra poetry, and John Malachy again obliged. In 2000 then, John Malachy faced the camera himself here in North Kerry for the production of Asa Place in the Ballydonaghu and Ballylongford area of North Kerry. Here we are. So you can see all of these productions emerging. In 2002, then John Lynch went to Glenamaddy